Is a warm welcome that we say to you as you awaken. For many, the first ray of sunshine brings thoughts of meal preps. While for others, as they skip out of bed, guess what they are thinking? They want to crunch numbers on the World Wide Web.
Truly, truly, you're right, Thelma. Nigeria is Africa's fintech powerhouse. From Lagos to Kano, all across the nation, mobile transactions are booming.
You have spoken so well. Digital finance indeed opens doors of opportunity, very vibrantly, we must say. But it also raises critical questions. And how are Nigerians transforming their old money management patterns with the digital systems?
You're right, that's a very good question, Thelma. Today we are cutting through the noise to explore the best opportunities. It is all about fintech. I am Patience Eloy Abba, and this is your favorite weekend show, Weekend Deal, coming to you live from the network service of the NTA.
We'll just ask you a few more questions. How secure are online transactions? What happens to those who are digitally excluded? Critical questions, you must say. As we talk about digital finance today on Weekend, we ask you to lean in and make ready our conversation, especially as I know we'll get to learn more about how to think about and handle our money. After all, everyone's dream is to make wealth for generations yet unborn. My name is Thelma Obaza. Weekend Deal is streaming on all our social media handles at NTA Network. But for now, it's time to join Zenret, our beautiful sister, for the Money News Highlight. Zenret, take it away.
It's good to see you, Thelma and Patience, and good morning and welcome to the AM News. Now, following recent security challenges in some parts of the country and the need to prevent any security breaches, the Ministry of Education has approved the immediate closure of some federal unity colleges with immediate effect. A statement by the Director of Senior Secondary Education, Binta Abdulkadir, notes that all principals of affected colleges are to ensure strict compliance. Meanwhile, the Defense Industries Corporation DICON D7G, an arm of the Ministry of Defense, says troops require drones for surveillance and advanced warning to curb ambush by terrorists. To meet the need of its troops in the front line, DICON has successfully upgraded and tested some rifles used by troops with precision. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa reports.
The nation's security challenges continue to stretch the capacity of the armed forces. From Boko Haram attacks in the northeast to banditry and kidnapping, demands for weapons, ammunition and surveillance equipment on the increase. To address this challenge, the federal government says a major step towards closing this gap is the Defense Industries Corporation of Nigeria.
The armed forces need more of drones to give them early warning before entering into ambush. So we have in our stock now drones, and we will be assembling more.
We are launching our jet. 160,000 square meter is a private jetty with partner with the government. This 160,000 square meter is 70% will be there for defense industry, for material.
The organization has just concluded an upgrade of rifles for troops, but its officials insist boosting local production will provide steady supply of critical hardware for troops on the front line.
We have assembled the version that is used to be known as AK-103. Large quantity has been assembled so far, and we have successfully upgraded those weapons.
The DICON D7G project is part of a broader effort to modernize Nigeria's defense architecture. In Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
And with the nation's security landscape becoming increasingly complex, the Nigerian Army is intensifying efforts to strengthen the leadership capacity and critical thinking abilities of its personnel. Now, this commitment is reflected in the Leadership Skills Development Course 14, 2025, designed to equip personnel with modern leadership competencies, sharpen their critical thinking skills, and enhance their understanding of interagency collaboration to enhance adaptive leadership for improved operational effectiveness.
Developing result-oriented leadership perspective, skills, and imbibing emotional intelligence, attribute to tackle real and emerging security issues as they emanate among troops and citizenry in your various areas and the country at large.
We just hone their skills in terms of leadership at the tactical level to encourage them to learn how to work in effective teams, know how to build a team, work effectively, and show certain skill sets when it comes to that level. Things like emotional intelligence, empathy, and so on.
The course had 60 participants from the rank of Lieutenant Colonel and its equivalents from across different military units. Now, despite a court ruling on the 20th November 2025 in favor of Nest Oil, permitting access and the continuation of operations in their respective offices, the company staff were prevented from entering their Akin Adeshola Victoria Island, Lagos headquarters on 21st November by security personnel. Now, General Counsel to Nest Oil Abimbola Atitebi made this known at a media briefing in Lagos. Diana Ajale has the details.
In October 2025, Justice Denide Dipelu of the Federal High Court, Lagos, granted the Mariva injunction allowing the lenders to take possession of Nest Oil assets, including its headquarters on Victoria Island, and appointed Justice Abubakar Sulu Gambari SAN as a receiver manager to oversee Nest Oil's operations, due to the company's alleged $1 billion and 430 billion naira debt dispute with a consortium of lenders led by FBN Quest Merchant Bank, which the oil and gas company is contesting. In response, Nest Oil claims that the matter is a commercial dispute and is being addressed through legal channels.
The ex parte order of the court that was used as a means, instead of preservation of the subject matter, to seal up the premises and take out workers from legitimate enterprise, was set aside by the Federal High Court. The order having 14 days.
However, in a recent development, Justice Daniel Osiago ordered the vacation of receivership orders, citing that the case should start afresh, while Nest Oil staff are to resume operations in their offices. In spite of this court order, the staff are yet to achieve this, with the presence of heavy security officers who denied them entrance.
The court order had been served on the police yesterday, and the bailiffs came this morning to paste it at the building as is their practice. But we received resistance from the police. They didn't allow us move in. They tear gassed the place, and we had to run for their life.
The order of the court says there is no longer any ex parte order. The police have been asked to vacate the premises.
Nest Oil has, however, stated that the company remains law-abiding and will continue to work with authorities to resolve the issue. In Lagos, Diana Ajale, NTA News.
Now, the President Bola Tinubu-led administration is engaging constructively with the American officials at the highest level in correcting the mischaracterization of Nigeria as a country of particular concern through bilateral cooperation and investment decisions. Now, this position was affirmed during a high-level policy training on American foreign policy under the Trump administration, New Realities for African Negotiation, convened by the Ministry of Finance in collaboration with the National Assembly and the Presidency. Joshua Ogunjide reports.
In the past couple of weeks, the decision by President Donald Trump to list Nigeria as a country of particular concern, alleging genocide and systematic persecution of Christians, has raised significant concern across Nigeria's government and her international partners. The training is therefore not merely an academic exercise, as it represents a critical and practical component of Nigeria's national response strategy designed to equip policymakers legislators, and negotiators with strategic insights necessary to engage effectively with international partners and safeguard national interest.
We must remain vigilant, well-informed, and proactive in recognizing that effective international engagement requires not only awareness of external developments, but also coordinated internal preparedness to safeguard Nigeria's national interests.
To understand how American foreign policy is formulated in Washington, and also to understand the different institutions that actually play a role in the formulation of American foreign policy.
I think for legislators to be able to engage effectively, data, information, research is critical.
Nigeria is using this forum to reaffirm that killings in the country are not religiously motivated.
We see our relationship with the U.S. They are our great allies.
If you notice, they stopped a lot of aids coming to us. All they are trying to say is that nothing comes to you free. What will they get from your own side?
America's foreign policy is based on what its people want, what would enhance their dominance in the world.
Feelers from this meeting is that the President Donald Trump administration might likely renew AGOA for just 1 year, and after that, the rest will be history. And this is because the President administration in the United States believes in bilateralism, that's bilateral relations rather than multilateral relations.
In all, Nigeria is being accurately represented, effectively defended, and strategically positioned in all engagement with the USA. From the National Assembly Library, Joshua Ogunjide, NTA News.
Now, Nigeria has successfully linked its national electricity grid with other West African countries under the West African Power Pool. The feat, federal government says, will enhance grid stability, reduce the risk of system disturbances, and improve overall reliability of electricity supply. Now, at a media briefing, Minister of Power Adebayo Adelabu notes that the development will enable Nigeria rely on regional support during periods of supply shortfall, while also strengthening neighboring networks with the West African sub-region. The Nigerian Independent System Operator NISO recently conducted a test synchronization exercise successfully of the national grid connecting other West African states for the first time in history for hours without interruptions. Now, the feat that marks a major step towards eventual full integration of one regional grid.
Our grid capacity has increased over the last couple of years due to increased investments. One of the major benefits of this synchronization is possibility of export trade.
For 4 unbroken hours, electricity flowed from Nigeria and Niger through the entire West African sub-region, covering 15 countries. The milestone recorded is more than a technical success. It positions Nigeria as a regional power hub.
Trial is the primary prerequisite for full participation in the regional electricity market, enabling competitive energy trading, expand commercial agreements, and sustain power exchanges with neighboring countries. Meanwhile, NISO convened stakeholders' engagement with all industry players in the electricity value chain to deepen collaboration for efficient and reliable power sector. And that's it on the AM News. We'll return to Thelma and Patience after this break. Please stay tuned.
So much for taking us there. None else can free us but our own mind. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Esbo. Now, if you look at the Weekend in Studio, there's something different. Something different. Are you seeing our wall? Are you seeing those beautiful artwork on our wall? Kotsi Abdusalam Lamishi, thank you so much. This is beautiful, this is vibrant, and this is fully and totally creative. We love you. Thank you for making the Weekend News today even more beautiful. Oh yes, today it's all about fintech. Do you remember when, way back, before you do any transaction at all, if you have to do any transaction at all, you have to go all the way to the bank, and most times you will meet a queue. Well, that's because the traditional banks at that time were using the analog system. But in 1993, when the Nigerian interbank settlement scheme was founded, it became easy for interbank transactions. It didn't stop there. In 2002, the big one happened. The InterSwitch was incorporated. And then it heralded technology. It heralded modern banking as we know it today. Today, our banking, your bank is practically in your hands. To tell us more about the revolution of fintech is NTA Yola.
Nigeria's large population, high mobile phone usage, and gaps in traditional banking have created the perfect environment for digital financial innovation.
The fintech is one of the factors that determine the growth and development of the digital economy. It's a remarkable moment where people have idea on the entire fintech industry. And one of the major factors is the trust that people have in the whole thing. So they make people to venture into it and also invest to see that the ideas of the investors into the fintech industry have emerged and then come into being.
The Nigerian youth are the engine behind the success story. Meet Muhammad Abagoni at the center of this transformation, a young Yola-based tech entrepreneur and a creator of the digital payment startups Zafat Pay. His platform aims to simplify everyday transactions for students, traders, and small businesses using secure, low-cost mobile technology.
What we try to provide or want to give to our customers is that we are trying to build a single platform that comprises of a lot of variety of services. So in a single application, we'll be able to process everything related to our day-to-day activities. They can be starting from airtime, to cable TV subscription, your electricity payment. Maybe you have a flat with which you're trying to see the simplest way to basically make your payment easy. You can use it. We have remitter payments. So we have almost like 200 to 300 services comprises in a single application. So imagine you have just a single wallet, you just log into a wallet, and you can be able to process a variety of things in a single application.
This young innovator is just a few examples of many driving forces behind Nigeria's fintech revolution.
We imagine started a company that has like very limited resources on that. So, and then starting a company with a very few team, people that you have trust, start with. So we started it with very few people and very limited resources. We have to charge ourselves.
Despite fintech innovations challenges like limited funding, poor power supply, unstable network, and fraud risks, yet the opportunities in the sector are massive.
Charges attached to financial transaction aside the fintech. People are coming into the fintech, then invest, and then see that huge financial transactions are carried out with less charges, and also increase the performances of the services. So actually, the fintech is doing so very well.
Today, we take you into the heart of digital financial revolution. A wave powered not just by technology, but by innovators transforming how we manage transactions. Indeed, fintech is rewriting our economic story.
An amazing show starter there from NTA Yola. You know, when we talk about a revolution, it means something was just turned up on its head. And when things happen like that, there's hardly time for those who will benefit from such a revolution to prepare mind-wise, brain-wise, and otherwise. Even the money sometimes. Some people have analog money for digital systems. But good thing, our guest is here and he's going to tell us a lot about what we're talking about today so we can be knowledgeable and we will not be digitally excluded. Let's meet, greet, and make very welcome to Weekend Deal today, Mr. Ajibade Laolu Adewale. He's the Chief Partnership Officer, Wema Bank PLC, and the Chairman, Committee of E-Business Industry Heads. Wow. If we say title-wise, we say we have landed well. Let's see his profile now.
Sir, you're welcome to Weekend Deal.
Thank you so much.
Oh, so you're looking really nice. You're looking very digital.
But it's very hot in the studio.
Why? How can you say that today?
You want to let the digital finance out of the bag, or is it the cat?
Very hot in the studio.
Thank you for the compliment. We take it. We take it. Okay, fine. FinTech. What exactly is FinTech? And how can you describe it given the Nigerian context?
Okay. In plain definition,
Yes.
FinTech is financial technology.
Okay.
But I think to begin to describe what FinTech is, we need to start from the evolution of money in Nigeria.
Okay.
When we used to have people trading with barter. You collect this tuber of yam for this nice piece of cloth, adire, or you take, I'll build this place for you if I were a bricklayer, then you give me a gallon of gari. That was the trade then. Then again, we then introduced cowrie to Nigeria. I don't know if you were born that time. I wasn't born, but I read the stories.
I'm an old soul. I was born.
And we moved to Naira and Kobo.
Yeah.
You know, we had the old Naira, new Naira, old new Naira, new Naira. Then we moved from that currency to the areas of checks and ATM. And now it's moving further down to digitalization, digital finance, so that the money you have in your account is equally with you wherever you go to. Gone were the days where you all run to the bank on Friday because it's a long weekend, Saturday, Sunday. Especially fathers in the house, they don't want to go home without having cash in their pockets, knowing fully well that they have to spend over the weekend. So, but today's world, I flew in from Lagos into Abuja without.
Oh, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Just for Weekend Deal.
Just for Weekend Deal.
Weekend Deal.
And I didn't have any cash on me.
Wow.
But I know I'm comfortable.
But you were loaded. You didn't have cash, but you were. That's the beauty about this FinTech thing. You don't have
so even with just your mobile phone, even if your card is somewhere, you can do a lot with that.
I can do a lot. I can't be stranded.
Oh, nice.
I can't be stranded.
Nice.
Simply because I know, and I rely on. We're still going to talk about trust along the line. I rely on my mobile phone. One, I have access to data, and I have access to my phone, and I trust that whatever I command my phone to do on my account, it will do it. And so that is the evolution that has happened in that space. But you see, that evolution is not complete until we ensure that no one is left behind. So I can conveniently do that. But a market woman in Onitsha or a farmer in Jigawa may not have such trust and may not be able to leave the comfort of their vicinity to travel all the way without loading their pockets with as much cash as possible. So there's still work to be done in that space.
Indeed.
But there's an evolution that we can see, and he helps the economy because he makes it more transparent. He helps leakages. He helps to prevent or block leakages because you can trace where money moved from one location to the other. And so, therefore, I think that is the evolution that happened from the traditional banks, to how the young innovators, which most of us call fintechs today, because again, the truth, banks are also fintech. I work for an 80-year-old bank that is digitally focused. Yes,
if at any point you want to call the name of your bank, we're very confident that you've already put aside strategically the money for the promotion to ensure that the weekend deal will take you international.
Yes.
But just hold your thoughts a little.
Why is it you? Why are you doing this?
I'll keep quiet since you want to charge me.
No, after calling 80-year-old bank, next night we would love to hear the name, wonderful name of the bank, of course, because we know you are strategically placed to do the needful. But hold your thoughts just a little, because you have opened a door and you have piqued the curiosity of many Nigerians. You rightly mentioned that you can't be stranded. But there are some people who have been stranded, not because they did not want to be vibrant as you are with their phones and all of that, but because they lacked understanding or they lacked the in-depth knowledge to take them to the point where we are now. And that's where Dayo comes in. Dayo has been doing the research. Cash to code. Dayo, it's your time. Please share.
Money, one of the oldest inventions of human civilization, has taken many forms in Nigeria. From the early days of trade by barter to the introduction of cowries, coins, and naira notes, our understanding of value has constantly evolved. Today, as technology reshapes every sector, Nigeria is making another bold transition from cash to code, from physical money to digital value. This is the story of how we got here and whether everyone is keeping up.
In the 80s, in the 70s, you talk about transactionary mode, that is the payment instruments such as check, promissory note, and the rest of them. If you bring it down to 1980s era, you see situations where there are checks transaction, people go to the bank to fill tellers up to 1990s, early 2000. But in the past 20 years, a lot has changed in the transactional system in the country, especially the monetary sector. You now have the advent of digital economy, the advent of internet facilitated a lot of this to happen. People can now sit in the comfort of their house or of their office. They can, make transfer for transactions. People are on the way traveling. They can make transfer for transactions. You don't have to fill check except where it is necessary. You don't have to queue up in the bank, except some people that are still analog in nature.
The journey began centuries ago, when trade by barter ruled local markets. The introduction of cowries and colonial coins standardized trade. Then came the naira, symbolizing national pride and modern commerce. But the 21st century ushered in a new era: ATMs, online banking, mobile apps, and fintech platforms transformed how Nigerians save, send, and spend money. From cash in hand to a few taps on a screen, the definition of money has changed forever.
International body like to do anything serious with an economy where transactions are largely cash-based. And that's helped the government of Nigeria through the CBN to introduce a lot of digital payment innovations. As people make more money, government get more taxes. And government use that taxes, to also benefit the members of the public.
Digital finance isn't just convenience, it is inclusion. It connects farmers in remote areas, empowers small businesses, and drives innovation in our economy. Yet, challenges remain connectivity, trust, literacy, and access. As we move towards a cashless future, one question remains: has everyone caught up with this new wave of financial evolution?
You have more population of the country living in the rural area, not in the urban. So what government needs to do, once internet is provided, I wouldn't say government should buy telephone or phone or Android phone for everybody, no, but let there be infrastructure. The government should encourage the companies and the players within the telecom industry. That will enable internet to be across, and you see people will embrace online payment. This is a major thing I think will help government, because nobody like to operate in the old era. Everybody you see old people now who carry their Android phone and be playing with it. And if they can play with it, they can actually carry out online transaction. You see old people today, in their 80s, they still post on WhatsApp. It tells you that when we go more into the rural area, the unbanked population will be drastically reduced, if not zero.
Digital finance is changing how Nigerians live, trade, and connect. But true progress means more than going cashless. It means ensuring everyone is part of the journey. Because the future of money isn't just digital, it is inclusive.
Welcome back. Thank you so much, Dayo. From codes to cash. That's really nice. Our guest still here. So, from cash to code. I turned it the other way. Thank you, Thelma, for telling me. Okay, fine. Our guest still here. So, whether we like it or not, the financial sector is moving.
Sure.
And it's moving rapidly.
Rapidly?
Yes. What are the factors that is driving this shift from traditional banking to the digital financial service? What are the factors? Tell us some of the major factors that is driving this
revolution.
What's driving it?
You can liken this to the Industrial Revolution as we move from the first Industrial Revolution, second, third, and currently the issue of AI. We call that the combustion revolution, the electricity, the internet, and then the era of AI. So you expect that so many things around that will also flow. But then again, out of solving problems, some of these things will also come into place. Government, through the central bank, has done very well with respect to where we are today. The journey didn't just start now. With the various payment system visions that we have had in the past, payment system vision 2020, 2025, and now the new one that is going to be launched 2028. I call my first bank account was 16 digits.
Yeah,
16 digits. And government.
So now we're making the numbers easier for us to remember.
First is to unify those numbers. And that's why you now have NUBAN numbers, which is the 10-digit number that if a banker should look at your account number, can possibly tell the bank your account number is from, whether it's a current or savings account. Yes, to you it's just some 10-digit number.
Yeah.
But to some of us, we can tell which bank, which account type it is. So that uniformity first. Then the issue of interoperability among all the players, the banks, the switches, the processors, and everybody, all the players in that ecosystem. This gave birth to digital finance that we all see today with respect to how it is easy for you to move money from bank A to bank B. Then the industrial revolutions that I mentioned earlier on now also gave birth to how people digitalize the journey through APIs, some technologies that allow you to call functions in one institution against the other. So all these things put into place has given back to that revolution. Now, where the innovators, again, recall that I mentioned that some of us, traditional banks like you may call us, have been trying to do digitalization of our journey since. But possibly because of size or because we are looking at several other things, we have not moved as fast as solving little problems that an ideator can just look. Because I suffered like this, maybe a gentleman who spoke about his story, his journey, how he was able to create the first payment rails for his organizations. He wanted to make payments for a loved one in the hospital, and it was so difficult to achieve. Because of that tragedy, they went to build a solution that can solve that problem for other people.
Necessity is the mother of invention.
Exactly. I was in China in October with about 30 of my colleagues in the banking industry and some switches. And all through our stay, about 2.5 weeks, I didn't see a single card. I didn't see cash. I didn't see ATM. I didn't see POS. And China is as big as a quarter of
No ATM,
Africa.
no POS.
I didn't see. Maybe they are somewhere else. And I was.
But they are not in the mainstream.
No, there is not actually. Maybe there are somewhere.
So if you want to make
So how
break
were
it
you
down. Yes,
functioning?
how are you functioning? We want to know.
I functioned. I lived for almost 3 weeks without those things that you mentioned.
So you want
Did
to
you pay your
phone?
bills ahead?
Nope,
What did you
I didn't
do?
pay my bills ahead. All through, I was using this. It's the phone. I was using it all through. And even when you buy on the streets, the old woman knows that as you are buying this coconut, look at my QR code to make payments with. Yes.
Interesting.
And it worked very, very well. It's because they are putting that effort. We are not far from it.
Okay.
As Africans, we are not far from it. It's just for us to keep at what we are trying to do and ensure that we are doing it well.
Okay, let me come in here. I like that part where you said we're not far. So it's for us to key in. And like we said earlier, it's not that all Nigerians don't want to key in. Some need that understanding. They need to be brought to the table. And that's where we are inviting them via our package and our features to come on in and learn. Good a thing that you are here. Let me just put it this way. If digital finance were to send a message to Nigerians today in terms of pushing us to the level where China is, what do you think the message will be?
Trust
in a way to bring them on board.
Okay, the message will be for two different set of people. Nigerians as consumers, including myself, and operators. When I say operators, I mean a lot of people in that stakeholder ecosystem group. Yes. Which includes the regulator, the traditional banks, ideators, the switches, the card schemes, everybody.
The
so
card
first,
what?
card schemes.
Card schemes.
Afrigo, Verve, Visa,
You know, when you use
MasterCard.
the acronyms, don't forget that even though we're here broadcasters, we also need to learn, you know.
So, first off is to Nigerians, this is the smartest thing to do for your business. I know you might have concerns and trust issues, but don't wait for the next time to be forced to come into this bucket. And I will explain. When there was when we had the Naira redesign, and there was almost chaos somewhere, there was scarcity of the Naira notes. Nigerians were forced to move into the digital space.
Yeah.
If you go to the busy Idumota market in Lagos, those people who won't accept any other thing apart from cash before, they're the ones that will quote you the account number. In fact, you will have seen the account number written somewhere where you can transfer to. So they've now accepted that transfer as a valid means of exchange for goods. And what that does for the economy, it helps to curb the cash handling fee. Then when we had the COVID era as well, it was difficult for us to start passing currency from one place to the other because you don't even know what that other person has touched. And we were advised at that time to be very hygienic with our behavior. So every other moment you have to wash your hands. But when you finish washing your hands and you have to touch the Naira notes that has come from one person to the other, are you going to watch the Naira notes?
The aim is defeated.
You're exposing again yourself.
So I'm saying to Nigerians, please don't wait till that other time where something else will happen before running into this bucket.
Okay.
You're already pressing your phone, playing games, sending WhatsApp messages of what your goods look like. It's just necessary for you to move into that digital space as well, where you accept totally digital transfers or digital currencies. I don't mean any other one this time. I'm talking about digital finance as a means of transaction than physical cash.
Okay.
Then my advice to operators and ecosystem people too, we also need to do more. We have done very, very well. We are far from, as a matter of fact, Nigeria is the first country in the world that has implemented immediate transfer. And that calls for something. That means we are going somewhere. First country in the world.
Are we also taking pride in all the numerous charges that the accounts face and experience as the transfer passes from one place to the other? The charges are enormous. Is something going to happen with that?
Okay, very interesting question in perspective. But let me use statistics. If you have to withdraw from an ATM in Kenya or neighboring Ghana, it's over $1. The charge is over $1. But the central bank won't even allow us charge more than $100 for that transaction. First off, if it is your bank, the bank is the issuer and the acquirer. That is, the ATM you are using belongs to
your bank.
The person, the bank that gave you the card, called the issuer. It is free. Then, if you have to use another bank's terminal, which is called not on us transaction, then you are charged $100. That is in cents. So you are still cheaper than a lot of the central bank.
We would like to hope, as Nigeria is called the fintech capital on the continent,
correct,
it is our hope that the charges will become very, very minimal. 100 naira to you just said just. But then they take it 5 times a day or 6 times a day, it comes to 600, sometimes 1,000, sometimes more than that.
But for transfers, it's a little different. Depending on how much you are transferring, the charges can be as low as 10 naira. And we have also seen service providers saying, you know what, I'll waive this for you, dear customer. Some people have come up with products for youth, like my bank came up with a product for youth that allows youth to do a lot of freebies. And some have also come up with products for senior citizens that will allow them do businesses for free. But the truth about it is that the bank needs to oil the engine that is running this digital. So there might be little charges whatsoever. I agree with you when you said, oh, it's under there, I just mentioned just. Truth about it is that the cost of running these things are huge as well, the truth. But most importantly is that this has come to stay. I think Nigerians should accept it. The issue of trust should not be, we shouldn't have that issue of trust. Whether my transaction, if I do it, it will get to destination. If you get it. In fact, the central bank is very particular about this, precisely the Consumer Protection and Financial Inclusion Department in central bank, hounding operators on how the consumers needs to be extremely protected. In those days, when you have a failed transfer, it could take you some days before you get to reversal. Where the central bank is driving at right now is immediate reversal of those transactions.
We must drive it even faster because it's still not as immediate as we'd like it to be. Sometimes we still have to walk into the banks to make a complaint.
That's what the central bank is saying. Whenever a transfer fails, you as the sending bank, you are aware, or you are the receiving bank, you are not satisfied for this. But then again, like I was trying to explain the other time, there are a lot of players in the ecosystem. And when I was talking to operators, I mentioned a couple of people, including the regulators and every other person in that ecosystem. We need to come together, and that's what CB is trying to drive. Come together and ensure that we follow through on CBN's commitment to consumers, immediate reversal. Today we are on T+1, which means that if we have a failed transaction, within 24 hours, you get a reversal back. The central bank is saying that you all in that ecosystem know that this transaction was not successful. Why are you waiting for close of business? And that's what we are working at.
But just before, just to wrap up this thing you're saying, you know, you mentioned the lack of trust. We got to know, or it does seem to be, because there was a time I actually because I had the trust, like you have said, that they will reverse it, which they've done in the past. After a month, I didn't got the reversal. In the same bank again, it happened, 10 and 20,000. And I went there. And they still had to get me explaining and filling form. But you are saying now that somebody is aware that that money never got to me. Why do you need me to nudge you? Perhaps there may need to be consequences. If the banks hold the money beyond even 1 hour or 1 day, there should be consequences. When there are consequences, you will see that things are done at a more accelerated pace. Or am I speaking amiss?
No, you are very correct. Whenever the central bank gives directives, this is a very listening central bank, So there will always be a draft. So like I mentioned, there's a draft currently ongoing. Once you all agree and say to the central bank that we agree with this draft, then it becomes a directive. There's no directive that doesn't come with consequences. So what that means is that all the operators are very conscious and aware. There's what we call IDRS, Industry Dispute Resolution Systems, whereby whenever there is, don't forget that we are talking about interbank transactions. Interbank, it didn't happen in my bank. It's not intra to me. It's my customer that went to another terminal to go and use. It's my customer that is trying to transfer to another bank. So it becomes from my institution to another institution. So we connect to each other through that IDRS platform. And today, I'm supposed to easily go there and say, my customer has complained that he didn't get value, or the beneficiary didn't get value to this. What the other bank is supposed to do is to check and revert back to say, that's true, or I credited that customer. Don't also forget the issue of friendly fraud. Friendly fraud is when you did a transaction, possibly to your other account in another bank, or to family and friend account, and you have come back to the bank to say, I didn't get value. If you go by what you are trying to say, that immediate reversal, it could be that you are trying to, again, it's friendly fraud. It might not be intentional. It could be intentional, but we call it friendly fraud. So you might know what you are doing, or it might be unknown to you that that transaction was successful. So one still needs to be extremely very careful. But most importantly is that that IDRS platform needs to function properly. The court stakeholder meeting, we are discussing with our colleagues in the industry to say, hey, whenever a bank puts in a request against your institution, you need to revert back quickly. There are timelines, there are deadlines, and there are consequences. And once this thing happens, there will be more trust. But if you ask my opinion, that's not the reason why somebody has decided that he's not going to use digital finance. The issue of costs you mentioned, and I've also spoken in defense for the operators, the cost of putting these services together can be very expensive at times. Although the central bank is curbing everything that we do. Don't forget that in those days, to transfer from one bank to the other used to be 100 naira. Today, it's as low as 10 naira. And I know that in the coming year, a lot of people will be creative, institutions will be creative enough to say, I'm even waiving it further for their bank.
We are waiting for that time where our transfers will be free, and you'll not sit in your house every weekend and get this alert for this, service charge, this and that. And of course, that thing you said about interbank problems where you use another ATM and then your bank will say that you didn't get the money, and then the other bank, I had the same problem. I will talk to you during the break. Until today, I lost 20,000 after going back and forth, alerting CBN. The banker you said, as far as they are concerned, I collected the cash, and I never did it today. And the money is still not there. Anyway, we'll go on a break. When we come back, our conversation will continue. Don't go away.
And you went into Mr. Jibade's suit and shoes. Esbo, what is your digital plan? Esbo does not want to be excluded. Okay, at this point, we'd like to touch base in Patience's home state. Ooh. Benue, we are coming, or not just coming like that. We are coming to talk about digital financing, so that when Patience lands there sometime, you know that she has not been excluded. But Marco is talking about money in hand, but aren't we talking about digital finance and about the cashless society? So how can money in hand enhance our discourse or take us to yet another interesting level? Marco, please share.
Digital finance is a powerful tool for inclusion, especially in a country like Nigeria with a large unbanked population.
Before now, in carrying out banking services, you remember everyone used to have to come to the bank. And when they come to the bank, they spend virtually the whole day in the bank because they want to make withdrawals, they want to make transfers, they want to pay for goods and services, and they end up spending their whole day in the bank, which was not okay. But with the evolution of digital banking, you don't need to come to the bank to carry out basic banking services. From the comfort of your home, your shop, or wherever you find yourself, you can make transfers, you can load your card, your phone, you can pay for bills, you pay for services, you carry out basic banking services.
Mobile payments are enabling small business owners to thrive, allowing them manage their finances more effectively and expand their customer base.
Before the online banking come, I'll be rushing to go bank and to go deposit money. But now with the online banking come, I'll be doing my thing slowly, no need to rush. Even though I want to buy this from Gombe, and just do me transfer. Me trying to just transfer them back to Gombe and just buy goods for me. So now it's very easier. I started this business now is more than 30 years. So we are so far before we go back. But now I say the POS come out. The POS are help us and help our customers too. Because customer now, if you are one buy something, they are not going back and remove money before they come market. So go buy for our market for hand, transfer money for us for POS direct. So more go buy, we go give them cash again to go and buy things for market. So the help of the POS now, we help us pass the time when we are go back.
It's helping my business because most of customers, when they come, they say they want to use POS, they want to use POS. Do you have terminal? If you don't have terminal, they will not buy your market, they will go another place. Once I have cash, I keep cash, 80,000 in my room, they take it. So I don't like cash. I don't like to be holding cash. I like to keep my money in my bank, in my account.
Despite the advantages of digital finance, users need to be cautious.
Once you do not give out details that you're not supposed to give out, you do not give out your card details, you do not give out your PIN to third parties, your money is secured, and you can go ahead and carry out your digital banking transactions without being scared because the bank have carried out the back-end safety to make sure that all your transactions are safe. And if I venture a transaction flows, you can always come to the bank, you log it and have your money reversed immediately. So there's nothing to fear. Digital banking has only planned to make life easy and secure.
The impact is significant. Increased financial inclusion, reduced poverty, and greater economic opportunities for all. As the saying goes, true progress is when everyone can join the system.
NTA Marketing, that was very educative. I mean, fintech is just finances meeting technology and making it easy for us to navigate that ecosystem. It's making it easy for us to access financial services. So, Mr. Jibade, you're here, still here. I said something before we went on the break, before I went to Makodi, about what happened to me where I used another bank's ATM, and up to today, the bank's ATM I used claimed that I got value, and I never got value. I got so tired, I walked away. That was the institution. So to follow up to that, how safe are these fintechs, our new fintechs institutions that we are using? Everybody, almost everybody, even the unbanked, particularly now unbanked because of this new innovations. How safe are they?
Okay. And sorry about the incident that happened to you. Really, I do apologize. I can't promise you a refund.
You are here, why not now? What kind of talk is that?
But I would like to say some things. In digital finance, you are almost garbage in, garbage out. You can tell what really happened. It's a lot better today. If you go to the ATM to withdraw, if you cover your face with a mask, the ATM will not dispense cash. Even when you insert a card and you put the right PIN, every ATM has a camera. Beyond the camera from the ATM itself, there are also cameras watching that ATM. Because anytime there's a dispute, the central bank would like to know or catch the fraudster.
Yes.
The central bank wants you, the operator, the acquirer, the owner of the ATM, to have enough mechanism in place to track down who did this. So I agree with you, somebody could have taken your card and used your PIN. Maybe, again, family fraud. But the person, because the ATM is not smart enough to know that you are not the owner of the card and you are not the owner of the PIN, that the person using this is impersonating you. But the picture of the person that used that thing, the bank has it. I'm telling you. The bank has it.
Because my bank requested that, okay, give us a pictorial evidence that she got that money. And the other bank today, I don't know what happened. When I went back again, my bank, the lady told me, Pat, a whole lot was said. And I didn't get, but what happened? I did 2 withdrawals, 10,000. I didn't get, I now drove to my bank and I got value the same day. And when they checked my record, they saw it that, yes, I didn't get value here, but I got value there. And then the back and forth started. Till today, I walked away.
Okay.
I walked away.
To be honest with you, let me not drag this online. But what I can say to you is that, first, the bank is aware that that ATM dispensed cash or didn't dispense cash.
Yeah, they know.
1 second, ma. I know there are instances whereby a card holder inserts the card into the ATM, inputs the PIN. First, just collected his card back, forgot to take his cash or her cash. I know there are those instances. It's not the fault of the person. There are a lot of things you're thinking about. You went to the ATM to go and already withdraw money. Yeah? There's a likelihood that maybe where you were parked, you were trying to rush back and you forgot to collect your money. But I can tell you that the bank knows that that ATM dispensed cash or that ATM didn't dispense cash.
Okay.
Although before the ATM would dispense cash to you, the bank will have notified your bank, the issuer, this person wants to withdraw 20,000. This person submitted this PIN. First off, check, is this PIN correct? If the PIN is correct, yeah, proceed. Does the person have 10,000 that they want to withdraw in their account or not? If all those parameters are correct, your bank will return a message to say, please kindly give this person the 10,000. We have debited her and we have held the money in trust for you because we are going to get the money back at settlement, which is what I was talking about that.
Okay.
At settlement, the other bank will not have been settled for it. So when that message comes, my bank will send, or this other bank, the owner of the ATM, will give the cash out.
Okay.
If the bank didn't dispense cash and it says unable to dispense cash, it will send message to your bank, I was not able to dispense cash to your customer. The money that you debited, kindly reverse it back. And that's what Central Bank is saying, that don't wait till close of business. Don't wait till tomorrow. The other bank has told you that this money was not dispensed. Return it back to the customer immediately.
But just before Patience takes a few messages, but what you've told us in a nutshell is that there are instances where someone, not a bank in a whole, wants to do something negative, but there are some people in some banks who intentionally have made that their own side hustle. Because if sometimes we don't go to complain, we don't get. Even sometimes we go to complain, we still don't get. So that money is not in the air. As smart as you have described the digital finance system, that cash will hang somewhere, and somebody in the bank who is a smart banker knows where that money is. And we've come to learn over time that if well managed, can become a robust nest egg for some smart, sharp bankers. Please correct us if we are wrong.
Yes, I have to correct you, to be honest with you. First off, you are talking about how safe is all of this.
Yes,
and I can assure
digital
you
platforms, how safe are
it's
they?
very safe. I know there's the issue of trust, which is why I'm appealing to Nigerians today that this is a lot better. I think you should trust this process more. It's not easy for you to take money out of a bank. There is maker checker.
Okay.
There are audit trails. There are call-up people. There are internal audit department. There's a lot of processes.
A lot of processes.
It's like in your studio. Before I got to the studio, I was checked. I was ushered in. Somebody spoke to me. So all those processes happened in banks as well.
Yes. But you guys need to be extremely sensitive and conscious of those on the outside. Because when it comes to money, yes, coming to the studio is important. But money is so key and how it is spent. When these things happen, this is somebody's hard-earned money. We must handle it with all the love and care we will do ours.
Okay, let's take some messages before we go over to food and nutrition. Somebody says, oh, you guys are just amazing. Keep up the good work. I love you. I love NTA. Thank you very much. And then up and say, you guys are doing a really good job. I like your programs and I watch your program almost every weekend. But please, I would also like you guys to at least tell your DGs to buy you all iPads. Buy iPads for all NTA staff. So you can develop your program. Keep it up. This is Ahmed from Jos. Ahmed, that's a good one. Thank you. I'm sure my comrade DG has heard you and he will do something about it. Okay, say, oh, I love you in red.
Who is wearing red? Is it Mr. Jibade?
It's Thelma!
Or is it Esbo? Or is it Patience?
I'm Isaac from Gombe. I think Weekend Deal is the best show ever. Thank you.
I also agree.
Yes. Oh, he agrees.
I
also agree.
Okay, somebody say, Nandom Wiyep from Jos again. What are the primary barriers to the widespread adoption of digital finance, such as poor network connections, high transaction charges, and security concerns? The person is mentioning some of the challenges. But hold it. Okay. There are always fraud. There are always fraud that are too cheap to trace in these digital days. Some requesting for money through hacking of users' accounts. There should be a special unit to pin down such fraudsters without delay. That will give credence to digital banking from Salami, Okeho, or your state. Well, thank you so much for your contributions. We'd love to read from you. That's why we are here. We will go to NTA for nutrition, food and nutrition. NTA, take it away.
Esbo! Ooh! Esbo, you didn't talk about Mr. Jibade's shoelace. It is blue now. And his socks. His socks is not just brown. It has blue trimming. You left it at just the suit and the tie. Come on, Esbo. Put your next number. We'll celebrate the socks. It's a combo. Okay, it's great to have you, thrill us today, Esbo. That was nice. And we're just nodding our heads here in that royal way. We're enjoying your vibe. Well, Susan's been doing something. Susan also put in her 5 pence in this package. And even as she knows that we want to move swiftly, she also understands that there's risk. And you have mentioned trust. People are talking about lack of trust because what they have encountered. Yeah. Susan went a step further and put together this package. Risk and regulation. Susan, I know there's more. Please share.
There was a time when banking in Nigeria meant long queues, stamped passbooks, and the comfort of knowing your money was safe in the bank vaults. But today, everything happens at the top of a button. Fast, digital, and borderless. Convenience came with a new wave of dangers.
The risk in it is enormous. There are so many, but the highest among them is this. You don't know who you are buying from. You don't know the country of residence of the person you are buying from. The person doesn't know you, but the transaction is seamless.
In the last decade, Nigeria has witnessed an explosive rise in digital finance, mobile banking, online transfers, fintech apps, and digital lending have transformed how millions of people manage and move money. But behind the convenience lies a growing shadow filled with scams, loan shark app hacking, loan app harassment, failed bank transactions, from mobile banking to digital wallets and crypto apps. Financial technology is rewriting Nigerians' money story. But while it powers innovations, it also opens new doors to fraud, data abuse, and cybercrime.
Some people are not cautious. You say, I want 20,000. The person has put 200,000. Put your PIN, let me just withdraw. You put your PIN. It gives you 20,000, you walk away. All right, it is hanging there from your account. Before you look back, the POS mantle has been dismantled. And you don't see anybody there. What are you supposed to do? How much do you want to withdraw? 20,000. Savings or current? I put your PIN. First of all, look at the figure. Check the figure the dealer has imputed. If it is jive, if it corresponds to what you propose, then you put your PIN. And as you are putting your PIN, check your back. Make sure nobody is behind you. Even the person, the POS dealer, make sure he or she has no access to what you are inputting into the POS. That is for her. When you input it, you give it to her. Then gives your money. The moment the transaction is effected, you are expected to get an allowance.
For many Nigerians, the biggest threat comes from fraud, as bank accounts, mobile wallets, and personal data become tied to a single phone number. That convenience also becomes a weakness.
You are making a transaction. There is even flag cannot pass between you and the person next to you, and you want to start. No. Tell the person he or she should excuse you. It's your privacy. It's intruding. He or she is intruding into your privacy. If the ATM is maybe like here and I'm standing here, if I step there and you want to step to my place, I'll say, no, you are too close to me. I don't want it. The person has no choice rather than to step back. That is the worst thing that happened to people using or transacting with ATM and MasterCard or Visa card.
Across the country, digital finance fraud has left many Nigerians counting their losses. Digital finance is the future, but the future must be safe. Innovations must work hand in hand with trust. Regulations and consumers must be protected.
Thank you so much, Susan. That was beautiful, and I mean, that was really in-depth. So she raised some concerns in the report, how some users are counting their losses. But because it's digital, everything can be traced. Am I right? Absolutely. So if money is stolen, let's say I lose my phone and money is taken from my account, that money ended up somewhere. Why is the bank not able to say it ended up in this account, freeze the account and let the owner come to the bank? Why are people not recovering their money? What is the challenge?
Okay, truth is, when money is stolen from one account to the other account, you have to first find out how the money was stolen.
Okay.
We've made giant stride in digital finance.
Okay.
And of course, those kind of things will also come with the bad side.
Okay.
There are bad people everywhere.
Oh yeah.
And if you compare where we are coming from to where we are today in terms of progress against the fraud, well, it has increased, but not as much as we have done well in terms of the transfers, well, digital finance. But the aim of all the players in the ecosystem is to reduce to the barest minimum. I'm not sure anybody can stop fraud.
Yeah.
The same way you can't stop robbery. You call that what we used to experience in those days was bank robbery. You hardly hear of such again.
Yes.
So the robbers, they are still alive. God has not killed them. They have now moved to digital fraud. They do what we call social engineering. They call you and say, hey, somebody is in the hospital. They hijack your phone. They hijack your WhatsApp. And they begin to solicit for funds from your loved ones. They attempt to use cyber crime to get into the bank's vault or get your credentials from the bank and transact on your account. Like I mentioned, it's easier to track digital fraud than the other one that can be perpetrated in the bank. When the money is missing from one account, transferred to the other account, yes, we can see it.
Yes.
When we see such funds, the problem is that before you report, fraudsters are also smart. They may have withdrawn the money through most times these POS agents that you mentioned. Oh yes, because when they convert that money to cash, they don't go to ATM because they know that the ATM has a camera. Yes, so they go to an agent that may be an accomplice at times, and they withdraw the money from there with the card. Now, in fairness, all these things are also still traceable, depending on who is handling it. Because a card was issued to that person from an account. That account has a BVN. that account has identification. Recall when I started the conversation, I said, when we started this thing, we started with uniformity, created some identification for ourselves, which gave back to the BVN, the NUBAN, the payment system visions that we had. So we can trace all these things. With the coming in of NIN as well in this, it becomes more easy, it becomes easier to track who this person is. When the federal government said all through the NCC, all phone numbers need to be linked to NIN. All passport needs to be linked to NIN. The integration between NIN and BVN is the end game, so that you can identify everybody that is doing whatever in different spaces. So when your money is stolen, we can track it. We can see. Just that fraudsters also know when best to eat you. On Friday, when you know that you're on your way home, when you know that the bank is closing for the weekend. What we are also doing from the operator perspective is, how do we digitalize that notification? Today, when they move your money, they know that before you can call this bank, maybe the banker you are calling is also on his way home. The best way, like I've always known, which the industry is actually trying, because there's a special fraud group that we are looking at how to solve this problem, is to digitalize our journey as well. When my money is stolen from my bank, all I need to do is to again go to my phone. Today, that exists. You can go to your bank code and dial the USSD code. It's a uniform code. Star whatever your bank code is, star 911 hash. It blocks your account. And you can do that from somebody else's account, phone as well. Yes, it helps block your account to even stop the fraud in the first instance. But what we are saying is, next time, you should be able to block and track that amount of money. You know, we are trying to build a system that will help you track that money, even if that money has moved through that, because fraudsters are kind of smart. They move that money from one account to the other account.
Comfortable with this is the third time you said fraudsters are smart. They are smart, but you are much smarter.
Absolutely.
Please, you have your work cut out for you. You've as much as said that is an angle that is being worked on.
Yeah.
We need that squad built. We need it built yesterday.
Yeah.
Every one kobo that is taken from a hard-working, project Nigerian is critical to their survival and that of their family.
That's
and
correct.
I know that you guys are working on ensuring that these fraudsters, they should be going hungry. They cannot work legit. Let them starve. All right?
I agree with you. I agree with you.
We're about to join Godwin for sports. When we come back, there's more talk. And this time, POS machines. Wow, who is checkmating them and their usage? But first, Godwin and Ahena has sports and is talking with, is it Victor Modo you said? Or is it Patience Abba? Oh, Victor maybe. Okay, Godwin, take it from here.
Thank you, Godwin. Our sports landscape continues to be vibrant despite it all. We are hopeful. Like Thelma would say, I love Super Eagles. She loves Osime. We love Nigerian sportsmen and women. Now, recently there was a press conference by the... Thelma, you said what?
The Made in Benue movement.
The Made in Benue movement, and it was to address so many critical issues as at first Benue State. There were so many speakers, and the legend himself, Tubaba, was there.
In a press briefing on Thursday, 21st November, Tubaba and Made in Benue Movement, MIB, announced their merger. It was indeed a patriotic atmosphere, as Tubaba expressed his pleasure to partner with the movement, MIB. He expressed that the MIB movement supports his vision as a humanitarian because the MIB was instituted to give back to the people of Benue State.
I'm honored to officially address the public today as a major stakeholder in the Made in Benue project. A vision that goes far beyond an event. Made in Benue is a movement. It is a cultural, economic, and social awakening designed to showcase the strength, creativity, and the potential of the Benue people. This project is not only for those at home, it is for every Benue son and daughter across Nigeria and in the diaspora. Our mission is simple, is to take Benue to the world, through strategic partnerships, innovation, community-driven development, we are building a platform that amplifies our heritage, our talents, our products, and our unique identity as the food basket of the nation.
He called on the government of Benue State and other influential persons in Benue State, home and abroad, to partner with this movement, as it will boost the economy of Benue State.
We don't cook this thing. It's gotten to a level where we need to take it to the next level. And there's nobody that would do it better than the most respected, celebrated artist from Africa that luckily is from Benue State. So it's a great privilege that we have this kind of legend icon from Benue State, and he's willing to join forces with what I have created to take it to the next level.
Odie Woods sees this measure as a milestone for a new era for the both of them, as Tubaba's influence and global reach can take the movement further, and Tubaba can give back to the Benue community.
Benue! Made in Benue is going to bring us to the next level, the new level of how people see Benue State, and how people see us, and how people use our ethnic identities as a tool of division instead of a tool of unification and respect for everybody's perspective and everybody's tradition and everybody's culture. Rather, we want to make it variety in every spice of life.
Yeah.
So we want to make that statement become a reality once again. That Benue has so much variety, and this variety is what makes Benue State very, very interesting.
Bless yourself! Happiness is free! Happiness is lifeless!
I was just dancing. You know, Two-Face, when you see him on the ground, he's such a humble personality. It's hard to even liken the legend status with the man that you see.
Absolutely.
Humble, simple, unassuming, and of course, we continue to wish him well. And of course, Akonze as another special guy in the house. We still have, can you put that together for us, in a very short period, just in a few hours, so we say a big thank you. Mr. Ajibade, you're still here, but you're winding up the show. Many young people are using these digital wallets in this as we speak, and they didn't know the analog time that we experienced. It just came to meet this better thing, as we'll say. If we were to envisage, this is 2025, if we were to envisage where digital finance is going the next 5 to 10 years, what would you say the future portends for us, especially as Nigeria is the fintech capital on the continent?
Well, I would say regulation will drive a lot of things.
Okay.
If you see the draft of the Payment System Vision 2028 that is, like I mentioned earlier on, that is coming out, it speaks to cross-border payment, it speaks to internationalization, and it speaks to the central bank digital currency. What that means is that Nigeria has opened up to the global stage. Businesses or technologies built in Nigeria will now be facilitating cross-border payments and remittances directly.
Okay.
And I think that is a place that anybody looking at the digital finance should be making consideration towards. I also think that the regulator will be very strict with consumer protection.
Okay.
Yes, and financial inclusion will grow bigger, actually, as we intend to have cultural shifts in consumer credit. The theme of this year's annual CB conference is reimagining financial inclusion through cultural shifts in consumer credit. I see a lot of buy now, pay later or credit opportunities. Credit is the lifeline of any economy. Credit helps the middle class to grow. But in Nigeria, most of us see credit as stigmatize ourselves against credit.
Yes.
We don't want to take a credit.
No.
Meanwhile, credit is what can help us grow the nation. And so we are saying that organizations and Nigerians as well should be open to taking credit. And that won't happen easily if we don't have full identity of everybody. And that's where the BVN and NIN, they are harmonizing together. Consumer protection is coming to say, yes, as we move into this phase of our lives, let's be sure that Nigerians are protected. But on the other side, Nigerians as consumers, we also need to be open to credit. And semi or patient. If you have...
Please, it's patience.
Yeah, patience,
no, auntie.
Sorry,
young me.
Sorry, forgive me. You are a very young woman. If we leave this to the hands of people like you, if you have money to buy, if you have 100,000 naira to buy a phone, we're saying don't buy that phone with your 100,000 naira. Take a credit to pick that phone and be paying instrumentally.
That's higher purchase. What happens abroad, right?
Yeah,
credit,
so build your credit history. Know that credit is your badge. Your credit history is your badge, and wear it honorably, such that when you collect money, like Ashwaju in the studio, if you collect money from a bank, he should be able to pay back from his earnings, and he should ensure that his credit history, nothing tampers with it. Because once you are blacklisted, then you know that you are in big trouble.
But the thing about credit, no, I know what credit is good, but the thing is, the credit space right now is so scary. We have so many people offering this credit. They are not, I don't know what else to call them, but I think they're not professional enough.
The loan sharks?
Yeah, the loan sharks. They are publishing people's obituary when people are alive and telling them they are dead just because they are owing some money. So I don't know what the banks are doing or the CBN is doing to regulate and make it a sane, system where people can confidently actually begin to borrow. Because for right now, it is scary and it is stigmatizing. The system actually is stigmatizing, whether you like it or not. Once you go there, you are a kind of person. Okay. Let's quickly take some messages. Somebody says, why I'm not even taking so many messages, that so many banks have been called out. And since we have not done our investigations, I can't call them out.
Okay.
That is the reason why I'm not taking most of the messages I've sent today. Banks have been called. Somebody said, good morning to you. I'm really enjoying this program. Please, my own is very simple. 8,000 naira was deducted from my head. Another bank is being called. I nearly called the bank now. I went to my bank for better explanation and I was told it is for tax. Blessing in Lagos. What can you do when someone transfers money into your account, but you did not see it, and the person that sends it is successful, and then you go to the bank? So many banks are named here, so that's my problem. People now send money to people's accounts.
Somebody said they are working on it,
they said
right? With the draft that is coming out. Okay, can you reiterate that? The draft coming out that is working on all this. Okay, she said we need to go. We need to go. Please wave at Nigerians, Tajibade, from coming all the way from Lagos. Wow, we celebrate you. Thank you so much. Nigeria loves you. Weekendo loves you. God bless you. Esbo!
Take it away!